I teased it at the top of the program, and I want to talk about it right now. Yesterday, we had some family over. I made a seafood boil, made some Italian sausage, had a nice little Labor Day dinner. Throughout the course of the day, my wife and I were kind of going back and forth, getting some stuff done around the house, preparing food for the week, and just kind of getting ready after having 4 days off. 4 days, which were a great mix of being productive as well as being relaxing. We're just trying to get some final stuff done before we went back to work this morning. And my wife shouts out to me, "Did you know that the Grapevine is closing?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about? Why would the Grapevine be closing?" The Grapevine is one of those iconic Western New York restaurants that should never close. But I'm not judging them because I'm going to get to the point why the restaurant is going to be closing. We're going to read the article. And again, if you have any feedback on this, feel free to text in as well. Anybody that is familiar with the Western New York restaurant scene has to be familiar with the Grapevine restaurant. And if you're not, you've lived a sheltered life, my friend. The Grapevine restaurant, the first word that comes to mind when I think about the Grapevine restaurant is consistency. Every time you go to the Grapevine restaurant, you know you're going to get greeted with a smile. You know you're going to get great service. You know you're going to get great food at a reasonable price. So anytime my wife and I go back and forth, what are we going to have for dinner? The Grapevine always pops up in our choices. Great French onion soup. So good. So many people do French onion soup wrong, and you might hear my mouth start watering into the microphone. I apologize about that ahead of time. I am Italian, and I am a bit overweight, so when I start talking about food, my arms and my hands start flailing, and I get very passionate talking about food. So when I think about a bowl of French onion soup from the Grapevine restaurant, it gets me excited. Not to mention all the other tremendous options that they have on their menu, their twisted options, their basic sandwiches, their Italian entrees, their fish fry. Just so good from start to finish. I have never in my entire time of having meals at the Grapevine restaurant have had a bad experience. This is how important the Grapevine restaurant has been to me and my family. I hate to keep bringing this up, but I'm not going to bring it up too much. We went through that period in 2020, 2021. Restaurants began to reopen, correct me if I'm wrong, at the end of May, early June in the year 2000. And when I say they began to reopen with limited capacity in the dining room. If they had an outdoor seating area, they could go outside and sit and eat your meal like a normal human being. For 3-4 months, you're getting takeout. You're getting whatever you can at the grocery store, eating it at home, probably eating way too much junk food, not being able to patronize your favorite local restaurant, not seeing your favorite server, not seeing your favorite hostess, maybe not even getting a wave from your favorite dishwasher or cook in the back. You were in your house, takeout, eat at home, whatever you could get, you had to do it. So that first weekend, restaurants back open at limited capacity, outdoor seating available. Where are we going to go for that first meal? At this point in time, my wife and I were living in North Tonawanda, so the Grapevine was about a good 10, 12, maybe 15-minute drive from our home in North Tonawanda. Take that nice drive down Ellicott Creek, take a look at all the sights and sound going on at Ellicott Creek Park, and the anticipation would build and build and build. And it was a bit of nervous anticipation because we didn't know what to expect. We haven't been to a restaurant since the beginning of March, and this is our first meal, getting out of the house, going and sitting down like a married couple, having conversation, maybe having an adult beverage. We're definitely having an appetizer because if you knew about the appetizers at the Grapevine, you were definitely going that route because they don't do appetizers wrong. So Got to the restaurant not knowing what to expect. We were greeted with a smiling face, and we were able to sit outside, have our dinners, which was actually in a bit of a weird area because our table was situated right by the entranceway of the restaurant. A pretty unique perspective, pretty different perspective. But again, we were so just happy to be out of the house and get somewhat of normalcy back in our lives, having a great meal at the Grapevine restaurant. And of course, the Grapevine did not disappoint. We had a great meal. We got back into the rotation of going out and eating again, but we put the Grapevine at top priority when it comes to going out and getting that first meal after those dark days that we all dealt with in 2020, 2021. And we've been to the Grapevine a number of times since that time. We have family that comes in from out of town. They come in from Vegas. They come in from the Carolinas. They come in from North Carolina, which is the Carolinas, dummy. Excuse me. I make an error sometimes. We get family that comes in from out of town. They want to go to the Grapevine too because they realize, especially around fish fry season, you cannot go wrong with a fish fry from the Grapevine. So hearing the news, I hope I built that up enough for you. I hope I told that story and really got your mouth watering. And I hope you're going to the refrigerator, you're going to the pantry, or even leaving the house and getting a second meal because I worked you up so much where I'm talking about food and my mouth is watering here as I talk about it. So when I heard the news that the restaurant was closing, I was really disappointed. I was saddened. We had planned on going there this Friday night for a dinner. My wife works her second job this Friday. She gets out of work at 7:15. It would have been a nice meeting point between her second job and our house. We were going to sit down, have a nice dinner, talk about the weekend. More importantly, talk about what was in store when it comes to the Bills game. But the news came out yesterday that the Grapevine restaurant is indeed closing. And this is a story from WKBW.com from reporter Phoeben. And I'm not going to pronounce her last name because I don't want to butcher it, but I will post the link on the Facebook page because it's a great story. It really lays out what impact the Grapevine has had on the community and how customers are going to be very disappointed when they drive by and they see that Grapevine sign gone off of the restaurant. But again, this is from WKBW.com. The Grapevine restaurant in Amherst served its final meal on Sunday. Owners Tom and Lisa Payne made the difficult decision to close their doors and retire after 41 years. There's so many emotions, mostly all happy, Liza said. The happiness that we were able to be a part of so many events and have such beautiful customers, it will always be a part of who we are. The couple opened the restaurant in Niagara Falls Boulevard in November of 1983. It was just a great location. It was great to be in the Amherst community, she added. We serviced all of North Tonawanda, Tonawandas, Amherst, Niagara Falls. People from all over came to our establishment. So that's the explanation. They had a great run, but anybody that's involved in the restaurant business, that's worked in restaurants, understands how long the hours are, how long the days are, the amount of work that you have to put in, the cost of supplies, the cost of labor, the cost of rent. Maybe it got to be a bit too much for the owners. They said, enough is enough. We've contributed to our community. We provided some great meals. We've served our customers to the best of our ability. And once again, I can't stress enough how satisfied I was with the meals that we had at the Grapevine restaurant and how disappointed it's going to be to drive by on Niagara Falls Boulevard and not see the Grapevine sign up on the building anymore. The next point I want to bring up is that is a fantastic location. They have plenty of parking. They have plenty of room in the restaurant. What is the plan going to be for that property? What kind of restaurant are we going to see open up there? Are we going to see a restaurant open up there? I'm going to be curious to see what happens, and I'm just hoping through and through that another local business owner buys that corner, they turn it into something great, and they continue the legacy that the Grapevine leaves behind. Again, very sad news, but congratulations to Tom and Liza on a great career, a great restaurant, and I can't thank you enough for being that consistent spot where you can go and you know you're going to get a quality meal and they're not going to let you down. You're going to get a smiling face, and it's going to be a great experience from top to bottom.